Welcome, everyone, to Crash Overdrive's Friday Night Gossip, Unscripted. Today, I am humbled to be interviewing Trixie and the Misfit Toys because, frankly, I didn't expect my show would ever quite go this low. But here we are. So, my first question for this marvelous group is, who is truly the best front man in town? Who would like to take this one first?
The chick from the Centrics is the best front person I've seen, bar none, including myself.
All right, we have one vote for the head singer of the Centrics. Tommy, would you like to answer this question? Who is truly the best front man in town?
I'm going to have to, well, to be honest with you, my opinion is kind of biased, so I'm going to give it to Donnie just because I don't really like anybody else.
Me too. Tyler, what about you? Who is truly the best front man in town?
Isn't Alice Cooper from Phoenix?
Yes.
Alice Cooper.
There you go.
Wow, there you go. Okay, I do like him.
I forgot that this band was all in their 40s, so I should have expected that one. And finally, the woman of the hour herself, Trixie, who is the best front man in town, and please, don't flatter yourself.
Well, Rob Halford is also from this town. Well, not from here, but he lived here for a while. And I actually started out in music as a journalist for his magazine, so I would be remiss if I didn't say Rob Halford. It's my personal favorite. Plus, you know, we sing in the same octave, and we both like dudes. So, there you go.
But non-famous person would be Celine.
Such love radiating from this band. Either that was radiating or the smell of pot. What qualities make a good bandmate? I wouldn't expect very great answers from these people. So anyone listening, take this as a guide of what not to do.
Ooh, that's a tough one. A willingness to self-promote, showing up, and believing in yourself. Oh, that's so, kitschy, but whatever.
That gives me some warm, fuzzy feels, which I haven't felt since the last time I did a line of cocaine. So, moving on to Tyler. What makes a good bandmate?
You got to be reliable. You got to be sober enough to play. And you got to be good. Yeah.
Speaking of not being sober, Tommy, what are the qualities that a good bandmate should have?
You know, in this day and age, it's really hard to find good people to play with. I mean, have you ever walked down the street and seen those four guys standing around that barrel that's on fire and they're all singing? It is so hard to find. How does four homeless guys find each other? You know, just one's walking around, I need crack, me too, me too, me too, and they start a band. So I guess, pretty much. And the Gin Blossoms, because they're from here too. But I guess the main thing is, above everything else that is said, for the love of Pete, have some passion. And the rest of it, you can almost fake.
Donnie, you're a man who's been in music for longer than I've been alive. You are one hell of a dinosaur. What is a quality or many qualities that a good band member should have?
Don't be a whiny bitch.
There it is.
I love to see honesty. So I want to ask a question that should really bring us back to our roots. What is your best memory from being in this band? I don't expect many of you to remember half the shit that has happened in this band because, once again, soberness.
I think my greatest memory of this band was our first show. It was so much excitement to that. I mean, we were a full set, 2 guitarists, kick-ass bass player. We had all these props. The curtain dropped. It was a truly exciting time. A lot of people there. Yeah, our first show when we kicked in the door for the very first time was definitely a highlight for me.
The first show. I'm sure the club was absolutely packed to the brim in 1712. Trixie, what about you? As the head of this band, you must have some truly awful memories from this band, but try to find a good one for us, all right?
Okay, I think my best my favorite memory of this band was the last show that we played at Gypsy's Roadhouse. And we have a show coming up at Gypsy's Roadhouse, actually. But that was the show where we introduced this current incarnation of the band. And it was a fucking awesome show. And we didn't even expect it to be. Like, we all thought it was going to kind of suck a little bit. And then Addicted opened for us. They're the coolest people we know. They opened for us, and they put on such a good show. And Donnie and I were both sitting there next to each other watching them, and we were like, oh, fuck. Like, we're going to be so bad. And then we were great. So it was like a nice surprise all the way around. So I'm looking forward to playing there again because I have decided since then that I love that bar. So, yay.
I'm going to be honest, Trixie. I tuned out after you started self-promoting because I do not do promotions on my show, and certainly not for free. The only thing I truly will promote on this show is being an absolutely hateful bitch. Speaking of hateful bitches, Donnie, do we have any fond memories of this band?
Yes, the time I didn't break my neck when I almost broke my neck.
Every band has to have a clumsy bitch. What is the hardest or worst thing about being in this music scene? And Trixie, since you are such an outspoken... put your hand down. Since you are such an outspoken advocate of the shittiness, of improving the shittiness of this music scene, I figure who else to go first?
I love the fans that come to the shows, but I hate seeing people leave after, you know, whatever friend they went to go see is done playing. They just pack up their stuff and they leave. And then there's a lot of shady people in this town, too, that are putting on shows, that run things behind the scenes, and it's very hard to work with them. And it's tough. And oh my God, what is up with all the bitches wanting money so much? Like everything... Yeah, we're all nobodies out here. So it kind of grates on me that, you know, the first question they ask when you're like, hey, you want to do this awesome show is like, well, how much does it pay? You know, that's just fucking annoying. So.
Absolutely, Trixie. I do all agree that you are all nobodies. And I think that after this interview, it will possibly stay that way based on how scalding you want to be with your responses here. But on the opposite side of scalding, we're going to go to the most milquetoast man in this room, Tyler himself. What about you, Tyler? What is the worst part of being in this music scene?
I'm actually brand new to this music scene. So far, it's all been burritos and strippers.
Tyler. Oh, nope. Tommy. Whatever. You're both forgettable. Tommy. What is the worst part of being in this music scene?
Bands that hate on other bands. Bands that sit there and go, oh, those guys suck, we're better. You know, I hate a hater, but I kind of love a hater because, well, I've made myself so easy to love, so I don't understand the hate. You know, but that's okay. I need you to love me, I swear. You motherfuckers stay right there.
That's what I love about you, Tommy. It's your modesty.
Thank you.
How eloquently put.
So easy to love.
But I'm going to be honest. I do not love anything in this room right now. The only thing I'm loving currently is the prospect of this interview being over. Speaking of time almost being over, Donnie. Donnie the dinosaur. Donnie the Brontosaurus Brexa.
This scene is perfect. There's nothing wrong with this music scene.
For the final question of this interview, I want the people to find out something about you. So, Trixie and the Misfit Toys, I'm going to go one by one, and you're going to tell the audience and me and everyone else in this band something that you think they should know about you or this band in general.
Oh, that's easy. I think it's important that everyone understand and realize about this particular person, Tommy, in the band Trixie and Misfit Toys. I suffer from crippling depression. Therefore, our music is dark and awesome. Thank you.
I can see it now. The Tumblr pages of many a 13-year-old plastered with lyrics like, now put that pussy on me. How poetic. Next up, I think we should go to Tyler.
I would say that one thing that you should remember is come out and see our show, because if you don't, you won't see us.
Wow.
Once again, I'd like to state that I do not do promotion on this show. Next up, I think Donnie should speak. We'll save the best for last, or perhaps the worst.
Well, without offending anyone in this room, I was born a poor black child.
Anyways, and finally, on to the true woman of the hour. Clearly the most outspoken about this band and herself based on the over 600 posts she has on Facebook. Trixie, what do you think is something that the people at home should know about you or this beautiful mess that you've somehow concocted?
I think that any potential fans should know that it's never the same twice. In the sense that, like, we never know if we're going to be good or not. But it's actually never the same twice. Also, in the sense that we act different at each show. We interact with the crowd differently at each show. Every single person in this band is super interactive. So you never know what you're going to get, which makes every show exciting.
It's like Pandora's box. You never know what you're going to get. For reals, I would like to say a thank you to every member of this band, because truly what you have done for this community cannot be understated. You have proved to everyone else in this music scene, every other struggling band, that they will never be as bad as you. Thank you all for joining me on Crash Overdrive Unscripted, and I hope that with this episode, your interest in this show has been renewed. And if it hasn't, that's fine. I can already tell that you're a boring bitch. And I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye for now. Crash Overdrive.